Rivalry week is in the books.
You know, you win or lose as a team.
Or is it?
There's no better feeling than beating little brother.
The Sunflower Showdown isn't just one game.
Touchdown, Kansas State.
But when the chaos inevitably takes a break,
Sometimes things get quiet,
I ended up having hearing loss.
yet somehow these programs still making plenty of noise.
no matter what you dig, it's here all season long.
K-Nation starts now.
K-Nation, sponsored by 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Tonight on K-Nation, one KU softball player has to hear the game a little bit differently than her teammates, but it's making the whole squad better. How the Jayhawks are striking out an unusual challenge.
Plus, K-State's libero flies around the court almost literally. In a one-on-one interview, Mackenzie Morris explains how she makes plays even when she's upside down or turned around.
And a Sunflower Showdown that had us, you, and Kansas sports fans everywhere on the edge of their seats. We'll recap the game and tell you how this impacts Chris Kleiman's contract.
And of course, welcome to K-Nation. I'm Lainey Gerber.
And I'm Glenn Kinley. The Sunflower Showdown in Lawrence yesterday, an instant classic. Yeah. Two really good football teams. They go wire to wire. In the end, it's Kansas State on top for the 15th straight time, 31-27. So much to discuss, Lainey. Let's just jump right in.
It was a long game. There's a lot to talk about.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It was a stressful game. Even just watching it. Senior day for the Jayhawks. It was an absolutely incredible atmosphere. Fans from both sides showed up, but the Wildcats throw the first punch, and they quiet the crowd. Howard to Ben Sinnott, 7-0 Cats. Jason Bean warmed up in this game. He had his helmet on. We thought he was going to go. He didn't play. This guy did play, and he played really well. Devin Neal, the real deal. Touchdown, and he's far from finished. How about another one for the Lawrence kid? Devin Neal, Kansas takes the lead, but Kansas State responds. Through the air again, Will Howard to Keegan Johnson. The Wildcats regain control. Just before half, though, back in the red zone, let Ballard cook. The true freshman finds Lawrence Arnold, and Kansas up 4 at the half. The lead extends to double digits on the first drive of the third quarter. Make it 3 touchdowns on the day for Devin Neal. He's so good. And the Cats, though, they have a local kid, too. DJ Giddens up the gut. 2-point conversion is also good from Will Howard. And just like that, the lead for the Jayhawks, just a field goal. Will Howard doing it himself now. The senior finds pay dirt. K-State now leads by 4. Kansas needs points. Ballard looking end zone. Picked off. Marquise Siegel, a huge interception. K-State's just going to run it and let the clock run out from there. Make it 15 straight. Sunflower Showdown wins for Kansas State.
I can't even explain it, especially first win, everything. It's just been unexplainable emotions. We've been here before. Now this end, we on the other end. So we've been here multiple times through the adversity, so we was prepared for it, and then we fought through the adversity.
You know, this one hits a little more closer to home, you know, obviously just being from Kansas. Yeah, I was just kind of at a loss for words. Good game, credit to them. They played pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. And but yeah, it was good to get us a win.
Special teams was huge, too. A blocked PAT that Keenan Garber took back to the house, and a muffed punt gave K-State possession back in the fourth quarter. Chris Kleiman knows that this one means a lot to the Kansas kids on his roster.
It means the world to them. You know, we've got 50-some Kansas kids on our roster, and 19 in the 2-deep, and we're going to continue to do this the right way and recruit Kansas kids, because Kansas kids can play Power 5 football. We saw a bunch of that today.
And the Jayhawks give him a lot of credit. Not just an incredible atmosphere, but Cole Ballard played his heart out there, and they keep things close despite the true freshman. And by the way, he was a walk-on about a month ago, but he was under center, and he played really hard, like I said. The days of K-State just rolling to victory in this rivalry probably gone. This is a very competitive football game, and I think it will be for years to come.
And we had opportunities, and we played so hard, and we had some guys playing some of their first extended football, playing extremely hard and well, and you know, we all can look at multiple plays there that you probably wish that they just go a little differently, that it could have been a different outcome. I'm proud of our football team because I think the gap's really closed, but not enough tonight.
You know, Cole Ballard was just in high school about 6 months ago, and he played this game about as great as anyone could.
Right.
Devin Neal was also an animal. He had 18 carries for 138 yards with 3 touchdowns.
Oh, my goodness.
There's 1 regular season game left for both squads.
All right, KU, of course, will go to Cincinnati. K-State at home against Iowa State.
Good job.
Any other week, that would be the clear and obvious biggest win of the week. But if we said that, K-State women's basketball might have something to say about that.
Definitely. The Wildcats took down, in case you didn't hear about this already, they took down the nation's second-ranked Iowa Hawkeyes for the second straight year, by the way.
Yeah.
And this time it was in Iowa City. A 65-58 win. Aoka Lee had 22 points and 12 boards. Gabby Gregory struggled much of the game, but hit arguably the 2 biggest shots of the day late in the game. K-State has taken down an AP top 10 team in each of the last 3 seasons.
Wow, they're really cooking. They might be special this season.
Definitely. I can't wait to see them get ranked this year. It'll be cool.
They should be tomorrow, I think. They
Yeah.
gotta be ranked. Come on.
Right? KU women's basketball also went 1-0 on the week, and they beat Kansas City yesterday, 70-61.
All right. Well, when those 2 teams play, it's going to be about as exciting as that Sunflower Showdown yesterday.
Yeah, it's really heating up over here.
Let's get to the men's hoops now. The Jayhawks lived up to the #1 ranking with a comeback win against also a blue blood. Kansas beat Kentucky 89-84 in what you can call the DeJuan Harris game, or the Hunter Dickinson game, or the Kevin McCullough game. Contributions across the board. Get this, career high 23 for Juan, and then also 27 points and 22 rebounds for Hunter. That's video game numbers. And a triple-double for Kevin McCullough. It's just the 3rd in KU basketball history. And now the Jayhawks are in Hawaii.
He should be playing pretty well early because we've got 3 studs returning, and KJ Adams and obviously Kevin McCullough and our point guard DeJuan Harris, and then adding Hunter was a huge add. And the big key with us will be having 3 or 4 of the newcomers actually playing at the level that we recruited them to play at. And if that's the case, then it could be a really fun team.
If you can't tell, Coach Self on Island time.
Get a big win, throw on the
goodness.
shades, hit a little beach.
He's getting some Andy Reid vibes there with the Hawaiian shirt. Well, the Jayhawks play Chaminade tomorrow, and they'll play 3 in Honolulu before returning home for a 4-game homestand. I'm sure Jayhawk fans excited to get them back in Allen Fieldhouse.
Can Allen Fieldhouse handle a 4-game homestand?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of noise.
Yeah. It was a solid week of hoops for Wildcat basketball, too. K-State was busy 3 games in 7 days, winning 2 of them. The Cats beat South Dakota State by 23 on Monday, and then go to the Bahamas. An overtime win against Providence on Friday, but they lost the championship game of that Baha Mar tournament today, which was 91-60. Sorry, what was it? 91-83. There we go. I just can't read.
It might have been that I didn't put it in the script.
Cam Carter scored a career high 25. Jerome Tang might have as high of expectations for him as anybody on this team.
You know, everybody's talked about Cam being a weapon this year, and I've said it multiple times, but for us, we need him to be a weapon on both ends. I think he could be one of the best 2-way guards in America. And so we want him to not just focus on being a weapon on offense, but what he brings to us on the defensive end. And today he bought into that role, and I think I see that in him moving forward.
The Wildcats fighting missing pieces all over. Naquan Tomlin is still suspended. Quez Govler still out with a knee injury, and Arthur Kaluma missed Monday's game with an injury, but did play in the Bahamas. I wouldn't want to miss a trip to the Bahamas either.
Right, you got to tag along for that.
Yeah, freshman Day-Day Ames had to miss this afternoon's game due to a suspension of his own for a tie-up at the end of that Providence game, which we saw.
It was kind of a weird situation. They kind of got tied up, and he got hit in the face, and then he gets suspended. I think they maybe said that he's kind of instigated the fight. I'll let the folks at home gather their own
Whatever.
opinion on
You've all seen the video on Twitter. Yeah.
Well, K-Nation went 9-0 in sets this week on the volleyball court. We had a good week, Lainey.
We did.
And the Cats and Jayhawks did, too. A pair of wins for K-State and a pair of sweeps, that is, taking down Texas Tech in straight sets on both Friday and Saturday.
Meanwhile, the Jayhawks only had 1 match, but it was also a sweep. Kansas beat Baylor on Wednesday.
All right, pretty good week for them, and postseason just around the corner for those volleyball teams.
Yeah, there's only 1 match left for volleyball, so
we're going to be sad when it ends. But
I know these regular seasons are winding down.
They're probably going to play for the national championship against each other.
So I'm just saying, it'll be cool. They better be on opposite sides of the bracket somehow.
We'll work it out. K-Nation, if we have anything to say about it, they will be. More K-Nation still to come. The guy who hired the guys, he's sticking around. We've got the details on Gene Taylor's contract extension and also why Chris Kleiman's deal just got changed. That's coming up.
But first, hearing loss won't stop this Jayhawk softball player from making an impact and having all sorts of fun. Caden Stafford's story is right after this break.
Need your fireplace inspected? Make sure you and your family are safe this winter and avoid being a statistic. Certified Fireplace and Chimney now has openings as soon as this week. No need to wait months to be seen. Call or text us today to schedule your appointment.
Jungle House has moved, and we would love to show you around our new digs. Bring a new friend to school with you that will add life to your dorm room or apartment. We have plans for all. Find us at our new location, 6 East 7th Street, Lawrence, Kansas.
Batter up at Play It Again Sports. We offer an extensive selection of new and used baseball and softball equipment from Wilson, Easton, Rawlings, Louisville Slugger, DeMarini, String King, Dudley, Mizuno, Marucci, and Nakona. We have custom uniforms. Try before you buy with our indoor batting cage. Bring in your quality used gear to save even more by trading in and trading up or get cash on the spot. We are buying all day, every day. Play It Again Sports, 21st and Fairlawn in the Fairlawn Plaza Mall.
Fidelity State Bank and Trust, Topeka, empowering customers since 1922.
If you're looking at doing some remodeling to your home, debt consolidation, college tuition, your equity is there. We are offering competitive rates and terms on home equity loans. It's a great way to let your equity in your home work for you.
Fidelity Bank, we do business right here at home.
Living in the Midwest can be rewarding on so many different levels. Here at Lewis Toyota, we know how special this area really is. The hardworking people in this community enjoy the freedoms we hold so dear. We stand with all of you, determined to preserve the Midwest way of life.
Everyone dreams of having a stunning fireplace for their home, so why not make your dream a reality? Certified Fireplace and Chimney specializes in making these dreams come true. And now with in-home renderings and no interest payment plans, it's never been an easier decision. Call or text today.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Every year we see impressive freshmen on Jayhawk and Wildcat programs all over the place, adding some valuable new skill sets. One newcomer is testing KU softball in ways it hasn't seen before.
Yeah, here's how Caden Stafford's hearing loss is actually a gain for the whole team.
I read lips really good, and so if you're like not facing me and I don't have them in, I can't hear you.
She doesn't let the fact that she can't hear fully like sideline her at all. So when we're doing drills and stuff like that, she is very easy to talk to.
KU freshman Caden Stafford is taking the team's communication skills to another level because sometimes she can't hear them.
It's only like mild to moderate, so it's not that bad. It's really not that big of a deal to me because I've grown up with it. It's just part of my life.
Stafford has worn hearing aids since she was 5 years old, just after she started playing softball.
My parents thought I was super stubborn and wouldn't listen to them, and my dad's client is an audiologist and recommended me to get tested, and I did, and I ended up having hearing loss.
The hearing aids do bug her sometimes, but she's used to playing through it.
When it's super windy outside or if it's raining, like in travel ball, I would have to take them out, and I just like can't hear on the field. My teammates, like instead of just yelling from like third to short, they'll like walk towards me and make sure I know, or like if I miss a play that's happening, they like call time and tell me.
She's actually making the entire softball team better.
Yes, sir.
I'm big on communication anyway, so it just really, I think it just puts a little bit more emphasis on us being efficient and really exact in what we're looking for on the field when we are communicating.
And providing some laughs along the way.
So we have this drill where we have to face the back wall, and we can only turn around when we hear the sound of the ball to the bat. And Cadence like looked at me and she's like, I can't hear the bat. And I was like, Coach, like Cato can't hear the bat. And she was like, that's very rude of you to say. And Cato's like, no, I didn't think that was rude at all. That was just honest.
I love how she is so nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
She's like, I've had this my whole life. I just played through it anyway.
Like it's nothing. She's still 100 times better at softball than we will ever be.
Definitely.
All right, well, everyone credits the coaches like Chris Kleiman and Jerome Tang, and rightfully so. But what about the guy who brought him to Manhattan lately?
Yeah, he does a lot of work. K-State Athletic Director Gene Taylor is getting rewarded for building a successful department with a contract extension.
That's right. Taylor's new deal keeps him with the Wildcats through the 2029-2030 academic year. An annual salary of $925,000 plus some retention bonuses built in. And how about this? Chris Kleiman also just got a year added to his deal. An 8-win season is a built-in incentive in his contract that automatically means a 1-year extension to the end of his deal, and he's now under contract through the 2031 season, and he also gets a $6.5 million bonus for that 8th win, and it was against a rival. What a day.
Not a bad bonus.
He had a good Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, coming up after the break, K-State volleyball's huge wins this season don't happen without Mackenzie Morris. Her mindset while flying around the court in the Wildcat wins is straight ahead.
Manhattan Area Technical College will help you build a foundation for your college career, like transferable credits offered in your high school, earning your high school diploma through GED completion on our campus. Break through to a new career. Manhattan Tech, providing higher education.
Are you worried about the holidays because you struggle understanding conversations? New Sound will let you wear hearing aids at your family gathering. No cost, no obligation, just a test drive for your peace of mind. Call us today.
To those who served and those who sacrificed, thank you. Because without you, America the Beautiful would not be possible. And to show our gratitude at Ford, we're honoring veterans with a special offer. Since you're all in on America, we're all in on you.
Now, veterans and service members can get a Powertrain Care Extended Service Plan plus $1,000 bonus cash on select Ford vehicles. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Huge savings going on now during Vanderbilt's fall clearance event. Check out our new FXD soft shell jacket, $84.99. Great heavyweight flannel from Pacific Crest, now 50% off. Burn outerwear sale. All men's and ladies' insulated coats and bibs, $10 off. Unbelievable buy on fleece lined jeans, starting at $19.99.
Work boots Center, Vanderbilt.
Every morning, Today is serving up something special for you. Next week, Ina Garten answers all your Turkey Day questions, plus 5 days of holiday shopping. And Monday, the Thanksgiving Day Parade takes over the plaza live, only on Today.
Manhattan Area Technical College will help you break through to a high-paying career by empowering you in high-demand fields. Let Manhattan Tech help you break through to a new career. Manhattan Area Technical College, providing higher education.
K-State libero Mackenzie Morris may be one of the toughest athletes at K-State. The senior volleyball stud has yet to miss a single set, not game but set, in her time with the Wildcats.
Not a bad stint. K-Nation's Landon Reinhardt sat down with Morris to find out how and why she puts her body on the line for this team.
You're kind of the Iron Man for this team. You're ready to dive on the floor at all times. What goes into that mentality to where you want to be the one laying your body on the line?
Yeah, I think it's just part of being the libero. You have to be the one sacrificing and giving your all the time. So I feel like I just try my best to give 100% every day in practice and in games.
I got a couple clips I want to show you. What is this? How often do you end up in that situation?
Honestly, probably too many times. That's why I'm in the training room a lot at this point.
How did you find out that diving that way is the correct way to go about how you play volleyball?
I don't know. I feel like just being taught how to dive, it's kind of scary because no one wants to see you throw yourself on the floor, but getting used to like just getting down there and getting underneath balls is really important.
How did you learn how to dive in that way?
I was just taught that from the beginning, to kind of like throw yourself underneath it first.
For the first time on our show, we're talking to a Scholar Athlete of the Year. School's a big reason for a lot of these people on the team, but to be named a Scholar Athlete, that means you're among the best of the best. Why do you take so much pride in school?
Yeah, I would say it's a huge honor to even be named that, but school is something that's always been so important to me because I know it's what my future is. It's gonna set me up for success after volleyball. So I feel like just prioritizing it now while also balancing volleyball has been just a huge part of my college experience.
The Italian word libero, which means free. Am I right on that?
I honestly don't even know that.
Well, chalk that up as a point for me. But,
Yeah.
but free kind of explains how you play. It's almost like a free safety in the NFL. Do you agree that free would be a way to describe your style of play?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's the best way to describe like the position, just because you have free range over anything. I'm pretty much told to go after every ball, so that's all I do.
By the time that this airs, senior day will have played. We were talking beforehand about how sad you'll be. Why are there emotions for this final homestand?
Just because my time at K-State has meant so much to me. I never even thought it would, but just the people and the memories I've got from K-State volleyball and Manhattan itself have been something I'm never going to forget. And to see it all come to an end is super bittersweet, but I'm excited to see what's next and to celebrate one last time.
What has the transition been like with the new coach?
Yeah, definitely a big change coming into my last year, so I was a little nervous for that, but Jason's done such a good job of making sure he's taking care of us and just wanting the best for every player. So we all know that he believes in every single one of us that he puts out there, and we just want to play our best for K-State.
Sweet Texas here in BYU. How are you guys doing that?
One thing he always says is we have everything we need in this room, which just fills us with so much confidence before matches and games, just knowing that our coaches believe in everyone in the room, and anyone they put on the court is someone they trust.
I know that when you're playing, you're locked in, but I've been to a few games here, and when you look up to the stands, not only is it packed, but people know you specifically and cheering you on specifically. How awesome is it knowing that you have kids in the stands who know who you are cheering you on?
Yeah, it means the world to me just seeing anyone coming to support our team, but when people do support me, it just means a lot because I was once a little girl dreaming to play college volleyball, so I just want to be an inspiration to anyone wanting to play at the next level.
Thank you so much, Mackenzie, and we'll be rooting you on as postseason play comes in.
Thank you.
Yes, we're excited to keep her going through the postseason. It'll be great. And you guys don't go anywhere. We're going back to the booth to talk about the biggest plays from yesterday's Sunflower Showdown with Glenn and Caroline. That's right after this break.
2023 Country Stampede was a blast, and now is the time to renew tickets and camping for Country Stampede 2024. Call 785-539-2222. That's 785-539-2222. More Country Stampede announcements coming soon. Come downtown to Mingus Leather Studio and Gifts, where you'll find custom and curated full-grain leather goods, repairs, restorations, and other unique gifts. Beautiful items that'll bring a smile for years to come.
Hi folks, Rodney Robertson. We have always been a remodeling company, but our name never had remodeling in it. Well, now it does. We have recently rebranded our company, and the new name is Window Design and Remodeling. Still the same company, same friendly people, offering the same friendly service. So if you're thinking about remodeling your home, call Window Design and Remodeling today or visit our website. We are your home remodeling specialist.
May your Thanksgiving be filled with peace, love, and
pie. Lots and lots of pies.
Next Live, the Golden Bachelor host, Jesse Palmer.
Monday at 11 on 27 KSNT.
On the next Fox 43 AM Live, we're joined by our friends with Sunflower Community Inc. to give a little thanks.
Plus, you won't want to miss our Book of the Week with the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. Join us Monday morning at 9.
27 News, working for you.
2023 Country Stampede was a blast, and now is the time to renew tickets and camping for Country Stampede 2024. Call 785-539-2222. That's 785-539-2222. More Country Stampede announcements coming soon.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Now, if we showed you every big play from yesterday's Sunflower Showdown, the show would definitely go past midnight. It felt like every inch mattered in Lawrence yesterday.
It did. We don't have that much time, but we do have some time, and Caroline Sora and myself caught up at David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium right after the game, talk about our biggest takeaways from the thrilling rivalry matchup. All right, from David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium, the last game here in David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. As we know it, the Wildcats come out with a win, but boy, did this one go down the wire. Chris Kleiman talked about it earlier in the week. The turnover battle was going to be huge in this one. K-State ends up winning that turnover battle, and they win the game.
They did win that turnover battle, and the one that sticks out to me the most, muff punt that K-State ended up turning into a touchdown. That was the go-ahead winning touchdown.
That's
I mean,
right.
They went up 31-27 at that point. Next one, a couple drives later for Kansas, they come and pick Cole Ballard off in the end zone. KU never sees the ball again.
Yeah, it was a wild ending. K-State runs out the clock with about 5.5 minutes left. They just ran it and ran it and ran it, and the clock ran and ran and ran over and over and over. The muff punt there right after Kansas had all the momentum. Kansas has the lead. Austin Booker gets a sack. They force a punt. It's looking like Kansas has the lead and a chance to extend the lead. Drops that punt. K-State prides itself on special teams play. That was a huge play.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris Kleiman talked post-game about resiliency. That was a perfect example of that resiliency through all those moments, winning the turnover battle. Exactly.
Yeah, K-State had to battle through a lot in this one. Let's say this, though. Let's give Kansas credit. First of all, the atmosphere here was incredible.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And this game looked a lot different than previous Sunflower Show.
Absolutely. The booth was rocking and rolling today. I think I said earlier that it didn't disappoint. It was the last game in the booth. As we know it, it did not disappoint. It was a thriller from start to finish. I think this was the loudest that I have ever heard this stadium be before.
And the fullest.
Yeah,
it was a packed house tonight. There
packed.
was some purple in here, but it was a lot of KU fans that really showed out tonight. The last game here, I think we knew it would be packed, but if possible, it seemed like it exceeded expectations. I think the thing that we can both agree on, this is a healthy rivalry right now, both in the sense of the fan bases are passionate, that's always good, but it's a competitive rivalry.
And it's the first time that both teams have been competitive inside that rivalry for a long, long time. Both came in today with a 7-3 record. And if you had told me, the quarterback conversation has been a thing all week long, but if you had told me that this would have only been a 4-point contest without Jason Bean or Jalen Daniels seeing the field and true freshman quarterback in there, I mean, that's a big deal. That goes to show you, that these two teams are at a very similar point right now.
Definitely,
for sure.
Two really good teams. Chris Kleiman said that. He says they beat a good Kansas team. We got the train going off behind us. Maybe it's the bus. I don't know if they're pulling out, but they're excited about the win. I don't know.
Hey,
maybe it's
somebody
the Wildcats
is,
pulling away. I tell you this, we got to give credit to Andy Kotelnicki. The KU offensive coordinator is phenomenal. He had 1 week to prepare a true freshman quarterback, who, by the way, was a walk-on until about a month ago. And the offense looked pretty good.
Well, how many different people did we see take snaps for KU? I think Cole Ballard came out. Everybody was expecting Jason Bean when they announced it before the game, but no, Cole Ballard came out. You saw Torrey Loughlin take a couple snaps. Devin Neal had a few direct snaps. Daniel Highshaw. I mean, they were mixing it up all night long.
Center Mike Nowitzki was snapping it to everybody that would line up behind him. If you lined up behind him and you clapped your hands, he was going to snap you.
And you were going to get the ball, absolutely.
It was a wild game here. It was a competitive game. I don't know if fans from either side could have not been on the edge of their seat for any point during this game. I think even you and I were stressed out the whole game, not even as fans, but just being here, and the intensity in the air was, you could feel it.
Absolutely, and it was down to the wire. I mean, even in that last minute and a half, and Lance is going through all of his timeouts, like, okay, is KU going to get the ball back? You don't really know. I mean, that was the definition of down to the wire today.
Yeah, it was. The huge pick in the end zone comes from Marquis Siegel, the North Dakota State transfer. That changed everything. If that pass gets completed in the end zone, Kansas takes the lead, and then K-State has to put together their game-winning drive. Instead, K-State just runs the ball, runs the clock out, and picks up their 15th straight Sunflower Showdown win.
And that's a long streak.
It is a long streak, and one that certainly means a lot to the Kansas kids on this roster. From David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium, for the last time this season, I'm Glenn Kinley, Caroline Soro. If you're a Jayhawk fan feeling bad about the loss, we've got good news for you right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
Living in the Midwest can be rewarding on so many different levels. Here at Lewis Toyota, we know how special this area really is. The hardworking people in this community enjoy the freedoms we hold so dear. We stand with all of you, determined to preserve the Midwest way of life.
Hi, Clay Sherwood, Swims and Sweeps. I'm here with Frank and Dean, the CEOs at Cute. We have Hearthstone wood-burning stoves and fireplaces. We have electric fireplaces. So let Swims and Sweeps keep you warm this winter.
Because McCray Plaza has been family-owned and operated since 1975, we are able to make decisions that keep you independent and in the game.
Get a game plan and join the winning team at McCray Plaza.
Hello friends, welcome home. Located in the heart of downtown Manhattan, Furnish is a one-stop shop for all your holiday needs. From jewelry and handbags to unique gifts, candles, and garland, we have what you're looking for this holiday season.
Memories are created every day, and those memories can make a house feel like a home. The children's height changing over the years, the hundreds of backyard barbecues, and much to Mom's dismay, that time Petey unrolled an entire roll of toilet paper. Any agent can help sell a home, but a realtor can do more. Find homes for sale in Northeast Kansas and a Sunflower Association Realtor member that's right for you at sunflowerrealtors.com.
To those who served and those who sacrificed, thank you. Because without you, America the Beautiful would not be possible. And to show our gratitude at Ford, we're honoring veterans with a special offer. Since you're all in on America, we're all in on you.
Now, veterans and service members can get a Powertrain Care Extended Service Plan plus $1,000 bonus cash on select Ford vehicles. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
All right, lost in the shuffle of a really busy week, but not really lost because we're still talking about it. A huge announcement from Jalen Daniels.
Yeah, Jalen Daniels announced that he is coming back next year. The Jayhawks senior QB put it on social media. This year didn't go as planned, but he did say he's not done yet and he has unfinished business.
All right, he's going to come back, hopefully get a season fully healthy because he's a stud.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week as well.
Thanks for watching.
It's about us
doing the right thing for our state and K-State and then getting the win.
Everybody was too turned in the locker room. Everybody was turned. I was a little turned.
That's what winners do, and that's what we are.